So this week, I've been thinking a lot about just some of the challenges that we're having in society and how we all tend to kind of share information through social media, as well as maybe how we have conversations with family and friends and those close to us. And sometimes we tend to kind of come from our initial reaction and emotion. And I think one thing that's really important for all of us to understand is the complexity of our identities and the experiences that make us who we are. And so one of the things that I'm kind of writing about this week is the idea of the rawness of our creases, and how a lot of times, based on our different life experiences, that's how we will respond to just things that might be controversial. And we'll have a gut reaction at first without kind of thinking about our own creases that we have, as well as the creases of other people, to be able to understand other people and where they're coming from, and how do we actually listen to others without automatically wanting to reply to what it is that they're saying. And so a lot of times with my students, as well as professional groups that I've worked with, and as some of my family members, and you'll know who you are, you have done this exercise, because I just think it's a great illustration of how we need to think about the people we are. So typically what I do, I've called this the Creases activity. And one of my colleagues actually shared this activity with me a while back at Elon. And what I will do is I will pass out a 8.5 by 11 size sheet of paper to every person in the room. And so pretend, if you can really quick, go run, grab you a sheet of paper real fast, get you a sheet of paper. And then what we're gonna do, as I'm talking, I want you to crumple the paper and make a snowball. Okay, so you're gonna crumple the paper and make a snowball. So here we go. All right, everybody got their paper? All right, hurry, run, get a piece of paper quick. All right, okay, let's try it now. Here goes. So I'm gonna tell you a few things about myself. When I was in first grade, I had a goat pee on my foot. Yeah. I failed behind the wheel when I was in high school the first time taking the test. I was the co-editor of my high school newspaper. I participated in martial arts. I have 3 degrees. When I was working on my PhD, I had someone tell me that I would never teach, and that leadership development did not happen in recreation and athletics. Luckily, I've been teaching about 10 years and had an opportunity to co-edit a leadership book with a colleague. So, all right. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to open up, let me take this off, there we go. Open up your piece of paper, and you need to get out, you need to flatten it. You want to flatten the sheet of paper and get out every single possible crease that you can. Get out every single crease. Okay, it doesn't look like y'all are doing a very good job. Oh yeah, and I've heard also the excuse of, let's get a steam iron, because that'll help. But let's illustrate this for a second. I didn't really get into all my identities of, being female, being Christian, being a single parent, being white. My background is Scot-Irish. But this idea is that I've had all these different life experiences. And so what happens is we are all born into this world without any creases. However, we don't always get to choose the circumstances that we're born into. But the important thing to consider is that as we're going through, and if we're working with colleagues or family members, or having disagreements about things, in order to have productive, difficult dialogue, what we can do is, if we realize that my creases are different than yours. So any of you who are watching, if we were all holding up our sheets of papers and I walked to each one of you, all of our creases would be in a different place. So how is it that when you first look at me in this video, for those of you who do know me, and maybe those of you who are first ever seeing me, you automatically make assumptions about the person that I am? And so we tend to do this within the first 5 to 7 seconds with every single person that we come across. So how is it that I can acknowledge my own creases and to be able to understand and intently listen to try to understand someone who has a different view than mine, and realize that they have all of these different creases that have impacted them. And some of those things are difficult challenges. Some of those are positive experiences. Some of those are, you know, based off of even deeper, if we had some more time to kind of go into what are our identities. So just a little bit of thought for today as you're walking around and meeting new people or working with people that you currently work with. Think about sometimes that maybe you're kind of honing in more on your own creases, and how can you sit and listen intently to understand that the people that you're talking to have other creases that make them who they are. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I look forward to sharing tomorrow my Friendly Light Friday blog post about raw creases. All right, have a good one. Bye.